And so I'm going to get us started. I want to let you know, most of you do know that my name is Marlette Hazlett, and it is my sincere joy to welcome you to our word ceremony this afternoon. If you don't know me, I have the wonderful pleasure of working with our UVA graduate students on communicating their research clearly, passionately to general audiences. And this event, this 3-minute thesis, is the pinnacle opportunity for the students to practice and apply those skills. Most days I'm a coach. Many days I'm a cheerleader, and on a lot of days like today, I'm a proud mama. It's just really such a delight to see all of you and see your progress, and remember when I first met you and that you used so many words I didn't understand that I had to ask you, what does that first word mean? And it's just wonderful to watch you progress the way you have. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Let me introduce our Master of Ceremonies for our time together this afternoon. Phil Trella, I think a lot of you know him as well, and he leads our Office of Graduate and Postdoctoral Affairs. And over the past several years, it's been really inspiring to watch as he has transformed our office from a support unit for graduate students doing lots of important things. And now we are a strategic initiative that's redefining what a doctoral experience is at UVA. We are also fortunate that Phil is a huge supporter of 3MT. He and I both share a kindred spirit that's one of our favorite things to be a part of. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Phil. Thank you very much.
Sure. Well, thanks, Marla. That was very generous. I would not say that I am transforming the doctoral experience, but I have had the privilege of being able to bring some people on board like Marla who are actually doing that. So I just wanted to pass my thanks along to Marla for all the work that she does in this and all of our other programs and bringing these things to our students and helping them, helping you all and helping our students learn these extraordinary skills. So kudos to you, Marla. And before we get started, I also wanted to say a special thanks to Amy Guru. Amy is the glue that's been putting this event together. A lot of her hard work and preparation, and I know she helped out a lot with the videos and certainly with the event today. So I just really want to thank Amy for her time and all her effort in helping to put this together. So a special thanks for Amy as well. Okay, so most of us here, we already know what the 3MT is. Of course, our competitors have been living this for quite some time. But for those who are here who are not really familiar with the competition, I can explain it in true 3MT fashion, really in one sentence. It's a competition that provides doctoral students with an opportunity to present their research to general audiences in 3 minutes with a single static PowerPoint slide. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the criteria. I'm not going to go through and read all of them, but how do we judge a 3MT? How do we discern a 3MT that is of the kind that our students here have all perfected versus a talk that isn't as great of a 3MT? I'm going to talk just a little bit about the scoring criteria, the judging criteria, just so our guests here have a sense of exactly what it is that we're kind of looking for in these things. In judging the 3MT, there are really two general categories or criteria for determining the quality of a 3MT. One is comprehension and content, and the other one is engagement in communication. And so what do we mean by comprehension and content? There's actually a whole list of bullet points, and I'm not going to go through them all, but just a couple examples. Questions that judges would look for, such as this. Did the presentation help the audience understand the research question being addressed and its significance? Was the thesis topic, key results, and research significance and outcomes communicated in language appropriate to a non-specialist audience? On the engagement and communication side, a couple of the examples are, did the oration make the audience want to know more? That's actually my favorite one because, of course, you can't explain your entire dissertation or thesis in 3 minutes, but you should give people enough insight so that they actually want to know more about it. They want to corner you right at the reception, and they want to talk to you more about your work. And another one, did the presenter capture and maintain their audience's attention? Now, one of the special challenges of our judges for this program is that they do have to discern the finer points of how well our students have been able to do this. And this is where I really want to focus on what a hurdle it is to climb to actually do this as a doctoral student. I would encourage any faculty member or postdoc or anyone who thinks that, well, this doesn't sound like a terribly difficult thing to do, to make a 3-minute video, to try to do it yourself. Marla and I have quipped a couple of times that we would be frightened to ask our finalists how long and how much time they put into really crafting their 3MT. But it is a journey that along the way, there are skills and competencies that one develops that will serve you well, absolutely well, for the rest of your life. And so here I really want to emphasize that we're gathering today as really what I hope you all see as a celebration. I see it as a celebration of your work, and you know, to not be too trite about it, but there are no losers here today, right? So all of the students who are here have done an amazing job putting these things together. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here at all. And I think that that's something that our judges said over and over and over again when we were putting this program together. I will say that we've been doing this at the university for a number of years. What is this, Marla? Our 7th annual or 8th?
9.
What is it? 9th? Okay, our 9th annual competition. I will just say very briefly that that this has become harder and harder to judge because of the hard work that Marla and all of our students have been doing to engage in this. And every year the presentations are just getting better and better and better, and you're part of that. So I just want to say a big round of congratulations to all of you. So that is the background there. So this year was an unusual year for the 3MT. One of the big differences about it is that, of course, this was a virtual 3MT, which is a whole new thing for us. One of the hallmarks of a 3MT competition is that it usually happens in person. Normally, we would be in a big fancy room at the university, and people would be sitting in their chairs. And I'm sad that we're not able to be there to do that. On the other hand, there are some advantages of doing it this way too. And I think one of the things we'll see is that we have all these really wonderful videos now that we are able to share. So what we're going to do today, of course, is we are going to introduce rather all of our participants and our judges. And we've put together a little bit of a montage video for each of our award winners of the judges' reactions to your 3MT, right? That we will play before we announce each one of the award winners. I would ask the audience to please please keep yourself muted if possible, right? Or just to please keep yourself muted. And for reactions, we are asking people to use their thumbs up or their clapping, or some people have really perfected their own silent Zoom celebrations on screen that are lovely and that I would like to see here. If you have any signature moves, please feel free to engage them in our celebration today. Okay, if you have other reactions that you wanted to share, also please feel free to use the chat box. So please do put your reactions in the chat box. We would absolutely love to see them and use that as much as you would like. Okay, so without further ado, I want to move into first starting out with talking about our preliminary round of judging. So we had many students who were interested and who were involved in the competition this year from the very get-go. But as I know our finalists will be able to relay, actually putting together the 3-minute video is a significant amount of work. And so we had sort of 40 people who signed up for the competition this year, which under the circumstances we were thrilled with. And then we had 17 preliminary students who brought to fruition, you know, a 3-minute thesis video. So I'm not going to go through and read through all the names. The names, of course, of all of our finalists are here, but we had a really, really fantastic group of students that Marla was able to work with mostly, and really became, you know, I think a cohort, a group who kind of went through this together in a lot of ways and learned a lot about each other's research. And connected to each other in some wonderful and interesting ways. So I'm really grateful to all of the students who submitted a video. From there, these videos of these 17 contestants were judged by a preliminary group of judges. So we had 9 staff and faculty members from within the university who all worked in teams of 3 to judge each of the videos of each of the students. And I wanted to acknowledge their efforts and their work here in helping to judge the videos and bring us to this point of our competition. So certainly some people there who are really, really great partners of our program and our office and PhD Plus, and real supporters of graduate education and the 3MT in general. They are big supporters of what it is that you're all doing. So I wanted to acknowledge them here. If any of our preliminary contestants or preliminary judges are with us today, please feel free to acknowledge yourself using your thumbs up button. We certainly want everyone in the audience to see you, if that is what you would like. Okay. So that was our preliminary round, and how we moved through to come up with our finalists. Now I want to move forward and announce each of our finalists just briefly. So we have our 6 wonderful finalists, most of whom are here with us today. Shahab El-Bahar from Urban and Environmental Planning, Grace Bingham from Biomedical Engineering, Grace East from Anthropology, Devanshi Gupta from Chemical Engineering, Jay Sheth from Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Meltem Yücel from Psychology. So once again, congratulations to our 6 finalists. Again, an achievement of monumental proportions to make it this far in this competition for sure. Our finalists who are here today, if you would please now acknowledge yourself by giving us a thumbs up, we would really appreciate it. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Now I want to move on to talking a little bit about our judges, who none of you have met, but who I'm very pleased to say that 2 of our judges are here, and so that is very special and very much appreciated. Of course, normally in the final event we would have all of our judges live, but our judges, we got together on Tuesday, a couple days ago, and judged the finalist videos. And so I want to take a few minutes to thank our judges and to recognize them here. Our first judge is Rafaela Guberovich. Rafaela is unfortunately not able to be here today. Rafaela is also on the West Coast. She is currently located in Washington State. Rafaela is a data scientist for Google. In her role, Rafaela researches and develops methods for measuring and analyzing the quality of Google products. She works closely with software engineers and project managers and helps them make decisions based on experimentation and statistical evidence. Rafaela earned her PhD in mathematics from the University of Virginia for her work on Navier-Stokes flows. I'd love to hear her do a 3-minute thesis on that, by the way. Afterwards, she became a postdoctoral fellow in applied math at ETH in Zurich. She also holds a master's degree in quantitative finance and spent a year working at the European Central Bank, where she studied the primary market of European bonds. Prior to joining Google, Rafaela was a data scientist at Palantir Technologies, where she worked on both US government and commercial deployments. Next, we have Lisa McAvoy, and Lisa has been wonderful to join us today for our final celebration. Lisa is a graduate of the University of Virginia. She is a senior business analyst and program manager at AAAS in Washington, DC. Lisa is an experienced information services professional who has spent the bulk of her career managing teams, assessing client needs, and improving products that serve associations, businesses, and government agencies. In her role at AAAS, she provides strategic guidance and operational support for the AAAS B2C platform stakeholders, including business owners, software developers, marketing groups, and sales and support teams. Prior to AAAS, Lisa's career path included product management and customer sales, team management positions at CQ Roll Call, Gallery Watch, and Legislate. Lisa remains an avid fan of all things UVA and returns to Charlottesville every fall and winter to attend UVA football and basketball games with an equally avid group of alumni friends. Last but not least, we have Andy Mink. Andy has also been wonderful to join us today for our final celebration. Andy is the Vice President for Education Programs at the National Center for the Humanities. He designs and leads professional development programs for K-12 and collegiate educators using hands-on instructional models and drawing on his experiences at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and at the University of Virginia. Andy's work bridges between the scholarly world and the working classroom, addressing classic contemporary aspects of the humanities in order to better understand our world. Fundamental to this work is the support of teacher leadership and curriculum design through open education resources. In 2002, Andy was named the National Experiential Educator of the Year by the National Society of Experiential Education, and he has been named a distinguished lecturer by the Organization of American Historians. He currently serves on the board of directors of National Council for Social Studies and the National Council for History Education. So I want to say thank you very, very much to our three judges for putting in so much of your time and for coming here today and helping our students. I think that you will all notice that there's in each of our three judges, Rafaela and Andy and Lisa, that they all have to communicate with lots of different constituencies in their work. And so we thought that for that reason, they would be absolutely perfect judges, and they have been, and I can't thank them enough. So thank you very much. Okay, so I think that that brings us through most of the preliminaries. Now we're going to, I will just, again, I mentioned that on Tuesday, we had a meeting with our judges, and we went through each of the videos of our 6 finalists one by one. And the judges had time to discuss and also to fill in the judging sheets and the criteria. And then from there, we calculated our results. So now we are ready to reveal our 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place awardees. Just a reminder for our audience to please use your clap functions, your thumbs up, use the chat box as you will. Now, the first thing that I want to announce about our finalists is, and we're going to start with our 3rd place award. We actually have 2 3rd place awardees. So essentially there was a tie for 3rd place. And so we're going to start with announcing those 2 awardees now. But first, we're going to queue up the reactions of our judges for our 1st, and by the way, they're in no particular order. Tie means tie, right? But the first of our 3rd place awardees. Here are the judges' reactions.
Like, I really did feel like she was speaking herself and communicating to me in a collegial yet easy to understand way.
It was really interesting to hear how this idea came. I think her slide was also useful.
I appreciated your passion for this topic. You were obviously enthusiastic about your experiences, and I felt like that came across really well. But overall, thank you. I learned some stuff, and I really appreciated it. So thank you for that.
Wonderful. Okay, and after I announce who our winners are, if you would like, we would love for you to maybe share a few words. This is not the Academy Awards, but it's like the Academy Awards in that if we do invite you to say a few words, it would be great for you to remain So in that vein, in the Academy Award vein. Okay, so our first 3rd place award winner is Grace East from the Department of Anthropology for her presentation, The Myth of Language Purity. Grace, congratulations very much. We loved your talk, and now we will open the floor for a few words.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the exchanges of nervousness in the chat. I am so honored to be a part of this process, and I wanted to shout out Marla and Amy for just putting together such a great prep series and guiding us through. I know those of us who participated got so much out of it. I feel really lucky because I entered this thinking it was only for STEM people and felt a little out of my depth. And so being able to learn from everyone and being in such a great collegial group of folks who were genuinely interested in my work and vice versa was really special. So yeah, yes, anthropology and linguistics can be done as a 3MD. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Phil.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay. Now, thank you, Grace. Let's move on to our second third place winner, if you will, the judges' reactions.
I liked it, man. You were straightforward to the point. I got exactly what you're doing.
Really clear outcomes that had personal as well as professional intent.
It was really clear, I mean, from the beginning to the end, what her project is. I know what she's doing and I understand the value of that. There is no doubt there.
A really great presentation for an important issue in a collegial friendly way.
Okay. Our next third place winner is Devanshi Gupta from the Department of Chemical Engineering for her presentation, Building Safer Batteries. Devanshi, excellent job and congratulations. The floor is yours.
I would just like to thank Marlet and Amy and Xuying, who is here too. And throughout this time, I was just thinking of how to just simply explain this. And I think they have helped me make progress in that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Excellent job. Okay. And now for the judges' reactions to our second place.
For me, this was awesome. I love the slide. She really took me on a ride from like introducing the topic, what are the issues, and then like, okay, now I have these new tools, so I can, look at it from the new lens.
There were moments where I thought you were going to lose me, and then you would bring me right back again.
She did a really nice job of communicating to a public and a non-expert audience the complexities of her work, but also the importance and value of it.
Okay, and the winner of our second place award is Grace Bingham from Biomedical Engineering for her presentation, Inspiring Inspiration by Mending the Matrix in Scarring Lungs. Grace, the floor is yours.
I don't know what to say other than just, wow, this has been an incredible experience. And I'm just very thankful to Marlet, Amy, all of the judges for their incredible feedback and helping me communicate my research and just having a platform to try and talk about the thing that I love in a way that everyone can understand. And also just a special thanks to my family and friends who aren't on this call that had to listen to multiple iterations of this. It's really been an amazing experience, and I'm really glad that we have 3 Minute Thesis at UVA. And also thank you to all the other contestants. I loved learning about your research and getting to see the way that you communicated ideas. That's it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Grace. Okay, and now last but not least, our first place award winner, if we could hear the judges' reactions, please.
Presentation was very clear, and you touched a little bit like on what actually your research is.
Your image from the get-go, I had a sense of what you were going to be tackling and sort of your mission.
I thought the logic of the presentation really fit well.
As I was raising questions in my head, I found you answering them as soon as they came up.
Making sense of the world we live in and the identity of young people is just super important. So I didn't feel as if that was dismissive in any way, but it was a very accessible way to engage in that topic.
Overall, just a really splendid job. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Okay, so some of you might have guessed then that the winner of our first place award in this year's 2020 UVA 3 Minute Thesis competition is Meltem Yücel.
My parents couldn't join on the call, so I'm looping them in.
Fantastic.
But yeah, thank you so much. Anne sus. Sorry. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I got into 3MT, sort of very similar attitude of trying Pilates for the first time. Like, how hard could this be? And within the first workshop, it was pretty clear that it might look like 3 minutes, but it takes many, many weeks and many, many hours. So I want to thank Marlet and Amy for their workshops, and everybody who attended those workshops who kept saying, don't use that word, don't use that word. And since he's on the call, my husband too, because he had to listen to it way too much, and then had to watch the videos even after I submitted them. So thank you all so much.
Excellent. Well, Meltem, to your parents, I say çok teşekkürler for producing such a wonderful scholar and for coming today. Thank you. Okay. So we also had this year an unusual situation with our virtual competition where we were able to ask for votes for our virtual People's Choice Award. And where normally we would get, just sort of the people who are in the room for our final presentations to be able to weigh in on this. Our students and their advisors and friends and families leveraged their international networks to procure over 1,000 votes overall for the People's Choice Award winner, which just absolutely blew us away. Yeah, we had no idea that your videos would be so heavily subscribed, but it makes a lot of sense. And so for the People's Choice Award in this year for our 2020 UVA 3MT competition also goes to Meltem Yücel from the Department of Psychology. Meltem, people loved your video, so congratulations again.
I'll just say thanks.
And I just wanted to say that in kind of follow up to Phil's comments on the numbers, I was like, well, they're just voting. They're not really watching the videos. And so I asked our colleague, Evan, who's kind of helping us with the technical stuff today, how many people actually viewed. It was viewed over 350 times. And so that's really awesome. That's really incredible. So.
Okay, well, to everyone, I just want to congratulate again all of our finalists. By the way, none of you will go home empty-handed rather. We have something for everyone that I think that you will enjoy and hopefully you will cherish to help you remember the time that you put into this competition. Truly, I think we've gotten to a point where all of the finalists are so high quality and so fantastic. I would put you in front of every person in any crowd for any purpose whatsoever. And along those lines, I would just say also that might happen at some point, you never know. Our friend Evan Kutsko is here from the College Foundation who's been helping us. I just wanted to point Evan out to say, Evan, thank you so very much for all of your help in putting together the excellent videos with our judges and our students and helping us with the run of show here today. It's extremely appreciated. And I'm sure our students would be happy to pay back by talking to anyone who's interested in graduate education at the University of Virginia and all the excellent research that is going on across all of our schools. So that is the end of our competition, of our virtual award ceremony. Thank you again to the judges. Thank you again to the students and all the people who came. Enjoy the rest of your day and feel very proud of what you've accomplished. We have recorded the session, by the way, as one last word, and we'll be happy to distribute that. So for your faculty members and your advisors and your friends and your family and all those 1,000 people who voted for the People's Choice Award, I hope that you'll distribute to them this video so that they can share this joy with us. Thank you all very much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. And I just wanted to mention you'll be getting follow-up from Amy and/or me with feedback from the judges, your specific feedback.
Yes.
So. Yes. All right. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. Thank you, everybody. It's great to see your faces.